Hello. Listen, this is probably not going to be seen live by anybody. I just had to get this off my chest. There's a channel on YouTube, I can't remember which one, but the dude keeps on putting stuff in vacuums and seeing what will happen. Like a marshmallow or whatever, different things. Cup of water. I want you to imagine, hey, welcome, glad to see you. I want you to imagine for a moment a vacuum, okay? A sealed vacuum, okay? Now, the way that a vacuum works, as far as we understand a vacuum when we're on Earth and we create a little vacuum chamber, okay, is everything gets sucked out of the chamber, okay? And then seal that chamber and you have a vacuum sealed container, okay? I want you to imagine a sealed vacuum container. Now I want you to imagine inside of that container the Earth getting created, okay? With its atmosphere, everything. You put the Earth inside of that vacuum sealed container. No, you don't open it up. Well, how is that possible? Because the universe, welcome, the universe was void. It had nothing, and suddenly it had something. And there's not another something for the atmosphere of the Earth to be sucked away to. So the whole argument of, well, space is an infinite vacuum, so why isn't the atmosphere just getting sucked away? Because there's nothing to suck away to. So it's a misnomer to call it a vacuum. I know that this is probably bad audio quality and the bad lighting, but this was really important. I wanted to make an entire big old video about it, but Vox was streaming, and I just see in the comments and people talking. Listen, I'm going to say it again. We got two people. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You've got a vacuum. It's a closed system. It's infinite. What's up? What's up, Boingo? Listen. You got an infinite system. Nothing to go anywhere because it is it. Existence is existence. There's not another existence. There's nothing to suck to anything else, okay? So the whole argument of, well, Earth can't possibly exist the way you say it does because space is a vacuum and the atmosphere would be sucked away. Nope. Again, imagine a vacuum and imagine creating into existence inside of that sealed vacuum system the Earth with its atmosphere. It wouldn't suck away to anything. There's nothing to suck away to because it's a sealed system. Sealed is finite, I get it, but infinite is also finite in regards to how a vacuum would function. So again, the word vacuum in regards to space is a misnomer. Well, but if you open up your chamber, your space capsule, space rocket in space, all the air gets sucked out. How come that works, but that happens, but the other, well, I get it. What's it getting sucked away to? That's a good question. I appreciate the fact that you asked, even though you didn't. Well, my friends, for that, I would have to say it's by design. What does it get sucked away to? I found a conundrum in my argument. All I have to say is, let's test it. Let's test it. Are we 100% sure, has it actually been tested, that if you're in a spaceship in outer space, that your stuff would suck out? What are the chances that it's not sucking out? What are the chances that its pressure is escaping? And that pressure can be mitigated by gravity. Maybe it's not a vacuum at all. Maybe there's just zero pressure in outer space. And there's just not enough gravity on a spaceship, and the pressurized cabin just explodes like a little bottle rocket or whatever when the seam busts. And it's not that there's a vacuum, it's actually just pressure releasing. And it neutralizes, and the zero pressure, I think that there's some logic there. All I'm saying is, we don't look at the big systems and the way the universe works from the perspective of the Creator. And I think we should. I think that would be highly beneficial. So, just a little brief explanation / hypothesis to poke a little hole in this argument, because I already gave a video on proof the Earth is not flat. Go watch that video. Highly recommend it. I give definitive proof that can be understood by a 6 or 7 year old and above on why the Earth is round. And then in regards to the whole vacuum thing, this is a little bit of a beginning towards a possible answer for that little confusion. Because that's what I think it is. I think it's just a little bit. I'm trust me. That's my priority. I think it's just conflation. I think it's just the way that it's the same way people treat the Bible, though. We read, instead of reading for truth, we try to impose our own prejudice, our own opinions, and we try to look for understanding based on what we already think we know. And when it comes to the nature of the universe, and when it comes to the way that God is, and when it comes to the contents of the Bible, that is a dangerous thing to do, because you escalate yourself to the place of God. If that's what you plan on doing, is saying, well, you know, you hear it anytime you hear somebody say the phrase, I would never believe, and I've mentioned this in other videos, so it's a little repetitive, but I would never believe in a God that, fill in the blank. That's a horrible presupposition. It's not horrible, offensive to God, just ignorant, because it's presupposing that your level of thought, that your ethics, that your understanding of reality is higher than the one who created reality. You're presupposing that your thoughts are higher than the one who created thoughts. And you should look at it that way, because it's ridiculously absurd. Where did I get that concept? I didn't come up with that on my own. I got that perspective from a good old guy named Francis Chan. I appreciate his material as a pastor, and he does 2 of the most dangerous lies. Look it up; it's a good video. That'll be enough search terms to be able to find the one I'm talking about. Good guy, great video, and it's absolutely right. For us to think that we have a higher understanding of anything than the Creator who created all things, it's pretty ridiculous. However, guess who told that first lie? That you could be like the creator. You guessed it. That'd be the devil himself. Welcome, numero tres. It's funny that I usually throw in random Spanish phrases, even though, and just in case anybody was worried, like driving in a straight line, I'm cruise controlled in at the correct speed. I check my mirrors. I'm good. I'm good to go. I glance at the camera just like I would a GPS. So it's all good. But anyway, I do a good job sidetracking myself sometimes, get off subject. So anyway, the moral of the story is, don't look for a way to explain reality based on your own experiences, because that's where the origin of lies, the original liar, it's what he did. He thought he could escalate himself to God's status. He thought he could overthrow the throne. And that's an unexplainable ignorance. I can't explain that. But by nature of God's creation, he afforded that opportunity. He afforded in his creation the opportunity for ignorance. And the Bible says that all these things glorify God. And that doesn't, and the Bible also picks up the argument right away and says, does that mean we ought to sin more as to, so as to glorify God? And it's like, absolutely not. And Paul doesn't call anybody a retard at that point, but poetically he kind of does if you read the passage. But anyway, when it comes to this argument, again, go watch my proof of round Earth. That's not the title of the video. It's proof the Earth is not flat. It's the title of the video. I provide elementary evidence. And again, this goes into another video that I've made, and that is the moon landing is a hoax, is a psyop. That video, where I'll keep on saying this, I really believe that there is a movement that some fall into accidentally, and some are willfully choosing to engage in this movement to deconstruct knowledge, to destroy hope of knowledge, to destroy the truth. It's not possible. It's pretending to overthrow God. It's pretending to escalate oneself over God. There is a fantasy of a desire in the hearts and minds of people to be autonomous. I saw the question. So autonomous means self-law. Okay, autonomy. Self-made law. A law unto oneself. Like the Columbine shooter, his famous quote, probably mess it up, but something to the effect of, I'm the master of my destiny, or captain of my destiny, something along those lines. Again, I'm not good with quoting. That's why I tell you to read the Bible and for yourself, and don't rely on me quoting it. So anyway, that's the devil, and that's straight up his stuff. That was his message from the get-go. You can be like God. That was the first lie told and believed and consumed. So yes, the question of, did we go to the moon? Here's the point. I think we did. But, however, I don't think that that's the most important thing, because what we're trying to establish in this question is, are certain people trustworthy? And the answer is no. So let's just listen to this part. And I'm glad a couple of you are here. Here's the point. By determining that we didn't go to the moon, we get to call out liars, okay? We get to say, confidently that people are not trustworthy. Well, guess what, guys? The Bible already tells us that people are not trustworthy. It is better to put your trust in God than to put your trust in man. It's in Psalm 1, I think it's 118, guys. I think it's 118:8. But look it up. 2 verses that say similar things. One says better to trust in God than to put trust in princes. And that would be who? The authority, princes. And then who? This is about trust. This is not about obedience and following the law. Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, right? But in regards to trusting, we can already rest assured that we should not trust. Okay? What does it mean for your life? Well, until they start selling tickets and you talk to people that have been to the moon, it means you're not going to the moon. Until they start selling tickets and you talk to somebody that's been to Mars, which will probably never happen in regards to, it's probably a one-way trip, is all I'm trying to say. But until that happens, it doesn't affect your life. Does it affect how you vote? Because I'm trying to explore all the possible arguments there. Does it affect how you vote? Sure it does. You want somebody that's financially conservative, and you don't want billions and billions of dollars to just be wasted. Well, have a personal conversation with somebody at NASA. Hop on their website, send an email to like a random person. Just be like, not a provocative email, but like hey, I really love this subject and I really would like to hear your personal thoughts. Just, do a little bit more of that. I sent an email recently to the Democratic Socialist Party of something psychotic, something or other. But I literally picked a person that was a representative of a couple of the states that I've lived in, and I just sent them an email. Unfortunately, I didn't get a reply. I was really disappointed. But I sent an email that said, I heard you guys don't support sodomy. Is that true? It was honestly, I felt a little guilty-ish sending that email, because I knew that they would read it and instantly get that really uncomfortable feeling of, I don't know if this is a serious person or a troll. Because they didn't reply, I have to assume that they thought I was probably a troll. But the word sodomy hasn't caught on in mainstream media, so I thought maybe they would take it seriously. I'm disappointed. I probably got flagged, and it's all, who knows? It's bad. It's bad. I don't know. But I think that would be fun to get a response. Anyway, very random. Again, who do you trust? Okay, so my argument in the PSYOP of the moon landing hoax thing, my main argument is, why are you trusting a NASA official from 2016 or 2010 or 2001 or 1990 or 1980 if you're not trusting the one from 1969? Okay? There's something going on, okay, with the confusing details. Yeah, sure, there's something going on, and you have to ask, what is the cover-up? What is the reason for loss of data? What is the reason? It's not necessarily that we didn't go. It could be much, much worse. It could be all for the sake of confusion, okay? Again, my argument is for the sake of confusion, to dismantle truth, to destroy our confidence that truth is real, that there is such a thing as absolute truth. And that subversion, we need to be very, very weary of. It's very dangerous. There is absolute truth, okay? And that statement, there is absolute truth, is more controversial now than it's ever been ever before. That's very sad. All I have to say, read the Bible. The Creator, He has the truth. That's what's relevant. That is the most important thing. Y'all have a good one.